Good morning, YouTube family. It's Coach Erica Janelle coming before you guys this morning. Just finished dropping my kids off to school. Just wanted to kind of touch base with you guys. And as I mentioned in my last video, I was going to talk about stereotypes and kind of do a series on it and kind of debunk some of the issues. Sorry, somebody's beeping their horn like a crazy person. Sorry. Debunk some of the issues and the myths that go with stereotypes and why these stereotypes exist and how to recognize, you know, what type of division and issues those bringing in those mentalities can actually contribute to you and your success in relationships, your success in love, in business, and all the other areas of your life. So I know we talked a little bit about how there are many stereotypes that exist with there's this new movement that I've been hearing. And let me just preface this by saying I am one of those people that I'm always learning. I'm always soaking up information and learning to be better, trying to grow, trying to heal, trying to be a better version of myself every day. And so I often listen to a lot of other YouTubers, a lot of other life coaches, because no matter what, even if I am a life coach or, you know, because I am, you know, I have an audience and I have people that I minister to, in a sense, I never feel like I know everything. I'm always open to learn, always open to gaining some new insights, some new concepts, some new ideas. Well, one of the things that I've been noticing with a lot of these people, I don't know if they consider themselves relationship coaches or if they consider themselves to be life coaches, but whatever the case may be, regardless of what you consider yourself, when you have a platform by which you bring influence and you share advice or give advice to people and you have a voice and an influence, you have to be very mindful of the words that you speak and very mindful of the image that you set and think about the repercussions and or benefits that can come from the words that you say out of your mouth. Because oftentimes I'm realizing that there's this new movement of recklessness when it comes to the things that people are speaking about Black women and dating in the Black community and how, you know, it's just so difficult for a woman to be able to get a husband if she's of a certain age, and, you know, why Black women can't find a man, why we have to be lonely. And I know that this message will not resonate for everyone, but for those that it does resonate with, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure you've heard these people on these platforms say some of the most sexist, most outrageous, most disrespectful things that I've ever heard. And I just want to address it. So we're going to talk about the stereotype of how all Black women or Black women that are career oriented and or educated and or over the age of 35, over the age of 40, which I'm over the age of 40, can't find a successful relationship. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to debunk that myth. The first thing that I want to address is, while there may be a lot of single women, single Black women specifically, that does not mean that there's something wrong with you. Oftentimes, we don't find the right partner because there's still things that we have to work through in our own personal lives. And I'm big on you taking the time to heal before you pursue any type of relationship. That means before you get into a relationship with another partner, you need to be honest with yourself, take some time of self-introspection and reflection, and work on the areas of your life that need to be healed. Because what you don't want to do is go into a relationship and bring your baggage from your previous experiences into that new experience, and then you cause yourself not to have a successful relationship. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I don't know why in society it's this premise that the only way to be happy is to be married or to be in a relationship. That does not equate to happiness for everybody. Some people don't even want to be in a relationship. Some people don't even have a desire to be in a relationship. Some people are completely content with just living their lives, doing the things that they do, and enjoying their freedom, enjoying their singleness. Being single is not a curse. It is not a reflection of you doing something wrong in your life. I absolutely love being single. I love my single life. I love that I have the freedom and the access to do the things that I want to do, when I want to do them, and how I want to do them, without having to deal with anybody telling me what to do or having to put too much energy and effort into other people. When I'm in my single place, I'm enjoying that. When I'm in my relationship space, I enjoy that. When I was married, I enjoyed it for the most part. Well, certain parts of it. But I say that to say there's this stigma around people that choose to be single. Singleness doesn't have to be a curse. It doesn't mean that something is wrong with you because you're single. Take the time to develop and to grow and to become your best version of yourself, whatever that means to you. If that means working on your physical fitness, work on your physical fitness. If that means getting, a degree, or changing your career, or I don't know, whatever your goals and your dreams are in your singleness, enjoy your singleness. There's nothing wrong with you because you're single. So let me just help you right there, ladies. If you are single and you are a Black woman and you're in your 40s, it's nothing wrong with you. That is not a bad thing to say, I'm single at 40. The only issue is if you desire to be in a relationship and that is something that you're working towards, take this time while you're single to work on you. So I want to debunk that first myth that there's something wrong with you because you're single and 40 or you're single and 35. There's nothing wrong with you. I get a lot of times and you think back to older times in society, when back in the 50s, for instance, that was the thing. You got married really young, you had a bunch of babies, and the wives typically stayed at home while the husbands went out and worked and took care of the finances. In this day and age, that is not even a thing, because the roles have, I don't want to say flipped, but the roles have changed in a sense of the man and the woman typically work in a household. And one, it's pretty easy to understand why, because the cost of living is extremely expensive. So generally speaking, both parties typically work in a household nowadays. There are some people that are blessed to stay at home if that's what they so choose to do. I know for me personally, I hated it. I stayed at home when I was married, with both of my marriages, and with all of my kids when they were born. I stayed at home for a few months and I absolutely hated it. It was like torture for me. But some women love it and it's for them. I'm naturally a business person, business-minded person. I'm naturally a worker. I like to utilize my skills and my education to grow. I love having a career. I love being able to launch businesses and do those types of things. So it just wasn't for me. But back in the 50s, that was pretty much the dynamic of the family. In this day and age, there's so many people that have this warped sense of what family has to represent based on what they've seen in the past, and they create these stereotypes and these visuals of what a marriage and a family is supposed to be like based on what they've seen. And honestly, nobody can tell you how to live your life and how to have your marriage. There are people that have poly relationships nowadays. There are same-sex marriages, same-sex couples. There are people that are completely breaking the mold of what the general family unit was looking like back in the 50s. And honestly, As a people, we always evolve. You think about it. We've evolved from the, Neanderthal days. We've evolved as a people. You're constantly changing. You're constantly moving. You're constantly evolving. So why is it that we have to stick in this box of what a successful, what success looks like? Success for you may be different what success looks like for me, but in a relationship, you should have a choice and have a right to choose what it is that you want to do. If you want to be in a monogamous relationship, then okay, put yourself out there to be in a monogamous relationship. That is not to say that you're not pretty enough, you're not thin enough, you're not fine enough, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not whatever it is that these people create, these images that people create about what a person's supposed to look like, be like, sound like, whatever. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. And at the end of the day, nobody can tell you what is best for you but you. So I encourage you guys, don't get caught up in what these people are saying. A lot of times when I hear these negative speeches about black women and how we'll never find a man, and this is why our men date outside of our race because we're not good enough, all I see is a person that has not taken the time to heal, that's in pain, because you were hurt and you're still bitter and you're angry and you didn't take the time to heal, so you want to spew that out on somebody else. And I've heard black women say, oh, well, I would never date another black man. They're not good. They're this, they're that. At the end of the day, you can't deflect your internal issues that you've had because of your personal experiences and put that on every single person. There are always exceptions to every rule. And at the end of the day, you have to do what is best for you. But until you've healed, you're not qualified to get on a platform and speak to people in any kind of degrading or demeaning manner to make them feel like they're not good enough. Black women, you are beautiful. Black women, you are good enough. Black women, nobody is upset because you're educated and you're smart and you're driven and you make your own money. Nobody's upset about that except for a man that hasn't healed within himself, except for a man that's insecure, except for a man that doesn't know his own value. Therefore, he wants to beat you down to make you feel less than, so it takes his focus away from him. We've got to learn that we're not each other's enemy. We've got to build each other up. For a person of color to say that they hate somebody from the opposite sex or the same sex of that same color is asinine, because you were birthed with a black mother, you were birthed from a black father, so how dare you hate somebody of your own race and your own color? We've got to stop the self-hate and stop feeding into the division and stop feeding into the negativity that society has already set. We are not each other's enemy. We are each other's ally. At the end of the day, I love my black men. I will always support my black men. I will always be in their corner, and I will always fight hard for them and ride for them because they're a part of me. They're part of my heritage. They're part of my ancestry. So at the end of the day, for me to say that I hate a black man or hate black men would be for me to say that I hate myself. So we got to stop with feeding into the division. And furthermore, these people that are bringing these negative connotations out in the social media atmosphere, you really need to watch the way that you speak to people, because you are really tearing people down. And there are a lot of people that are already on the verge of committing suicide or already on the verge of depression. And the very thing that you say could be the very thing that takes that person over the edge. So you need to be mindful of the words that come out of your mouth, and be cautious about the message that you're speaking to people. The Bible says that sweet lips increases learning. We got to learn to respect people, to honor people, even when we think differently. Respect differences. It's okay to be different. It's okay to have a difference of opinion. But what's not okay is when you're degrading and demeaning. And I'm sorry, the mama in me just came out, but I get upset when I know that people are hurting out here, and your words that you speak could be taking them down to that spiral down a very negative path. And you are held responsible for the words that come out of your mouth. Well, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was on my heart. It's something that I I'm going to be bringing in one of my closest friends who's getting her PhD in human sexuality, and specifically for the Black community and Black women. And I'm super excited to speak with her and kind of talk about some of these topics, because I feel like it's necessary. Before I go, sorry, this video is longer than normal, but I'm passionate about it. Before I go, I want to remind everybody, please RSVP for our National Suicide Awareness event that's going to be held this upcoming Saturday, September 18th, from 11 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be held via Zoom, and all you have to do is register, and I'll be sending out the link 48 hours before, and then again 24 hours before the event. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. I love you guys. Have an amazing Monday. Best day, best wishes. Bye.